Welcome back, everyone, to the LCS Championship. 100 Thieves struck first against Evil Geniuses. Apparently, tales of 100 Thieves' demise have been greatly exaggerated. Most of that game was pretty well in control.
Yeah, they struck first both in the series and specifically in that game, because so many of these early moves were propagated by either Closer or Huhi roaming around or forcing ganks. They even have Abbedagge roaming up for the top side. Yes, that play is answered, but it gets the mid lane teleports out, and then they continue to make consecutive plays across the map, forcing these advantages to grow for themselves.
It looked pretty good, so now we'll see if they can do it yet again. 100 Thieves looks like they are remaining on the blue side. Keep in mind the rule set for LCS playoffs, and I believe almost everywhere in the world, is loser chooses side. As EG dropped game one, they said, actually, we would like to keep counterpick, keep us on red, and we'll see how the draft moves forward. 100 Thieves had first picked Renekton in the first game. They're like, actually, rather ban it.
I think it's actually a very good red side meta right now as far as the power picks that float around, because generally you want to take out Kalista and Varus from the bottom lane. Extremely powerful, both picks there. Thresh for the support role, but then there are so many AD junglers that are very good right now with this rotation of Xin Zhao and Viego and Lee Sin all having very high priority, that it doesn't hurt you too much not to get that first pick on blue side, and so the counter pick can be used very effectively. Well, so last one I would look for here is then the Varus. That is the last of the super high priorities for bottom lane, because that gives you so much early push on bottom lane. There you go.
So this gives you the Viego Lee Sin trade, and then a second champion for Lee Sin. Or, I mean, to be fair, unless you think Lee Sin and Viego are still good laners, 100 Thieves takes whatever that third champion is, and takes the other half of that trade.
And something that's critical that we learned from the first match is that EG was trying to get bottom lane push by banning out Kalista and Varus and then picking Ashe. However, they got forced on by the Aphelios Nautilus, and with the double teleports coming through, they still lost bottom lane early. So you can't go back to that strategy, because that is a big part of picking Ashe, is some lane priority and then having engaged later for your team, giving up some of the possible super high damage output there. We are getting the same trade, you know, that Viego priority, I think that's pretty well minted, Freak, after that first game from Closer. Definitely deserved there as far as that extra priority for them. So now all that's left is the EG answer. You get your Lee Sin on the backside from Contracts, which I do think he played extremely well. Several really good teamfight winning kicks from him, and focus onto the correct carries at the correct time. So I think he still did play it well later for the team fights. The early game, of course, as we said, was so much in the hands of 100 Thieves, though, and that's going to be where EG need to make changes.
All right, we'll see what else happens in the draft. At this point in time, Contracts had more games in the postseason than the regular season of the LCS. 4 games. By the way, they were all wins for Evil Geniuses in the regular season. A 3-1 series over Dignitas, but now a loss against 100 Thieves. He is 5 games in, but turns out playoff teams are harder than regular season teams, Kobe. Who would have thought, as Tristana is grabbed up as the highly prized bot lane, of course, can be flexed to mid. And now 100 Thieves going to say, okay, well, just blind the Gangplank, no problem up there, and still take the Rise.
And I do like when you answer something that looks like a Tristana, which is a much more all-in bottom laner. It's not going to passively get push in lane for bottom lane like an Ashe does. Lane priority, you can get contested on it. Yeah, your E does push if you have access to the wave, but there's so many things that FBI and Huhi can do to fight them off it. If you get the Gangplank lock in immediately, that gives you your bottom side non-committal extra enforcement with the ultimate that can come down from Someday. Someday very happy to play Gangplank weak side, as we have seen in the past. So this, again, is setting up for a lot of side lane control for 100 Thieves with these 2 solo laner lock-ins. Jiizuke, again, answering here the Rise pick with the Syndra pick of his own. I do like this if they can attack the Rise earlier. Syndra, a big part of picking the Syndra into the Rise is in-lane kill threat, combining with your Lee Sin, stun that Rise, and kill him immediately with Lee Sin. Syndra is such good setup for Lee Sin. If you can land your stun, then it makes it so difficult for the Rise to fight his way out. That 2v2 is quite profitable, I would say, for EG.
So speaking of 2-on-2s, Kobe, pop quiz. There is one champion Danny has played more than once with a 100% win rate. What champion is that?
One champion more than once with 100% win rate?
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be bringing it up if it wasn't Tristana.
Correct.
So it's Tristana.
It is. What do you think his KDA is across those 7 games?
Is it over 15?
It's 14. It is almost 15.
I was really close.
So yeah, he has been great at Tristana. She is an early game powerhouse, obviously can team fight pretty well, but dominates laning phases. Jace comes through as the answer to GP up top. Syndra versus Ryzen mid.
I love this answer. I love this answer because you don't pick your Jace into the GP unless you have a lot of confidence in your barrel game, baby. I love watching mini game, barrel game up on top side.
Yep.
And really good Jace players can annihilate GP. You poke him down under his turret, and then you can take away the GP's threat of ulting bottom side. That actually frees up your bottom side because the GP will often be forced to use ultimate for wave clear or use it to defend a tower dive on top side. So it's a very good way of actually helping your bottom lane by picking something aggressive on top side. It does require you to actually win that game though. You know, if you mess up on barrel executions, if GP gets too many grass procs / trial by fires on you, it can definitely be disastrous, but Impact is very confident in his Jace play. So I'm excited to see an answer for possible, split push. Instead of just a, hey, EG, we're grouping up. We know our team is a ball of stats and we're going to run at people and try and get those hard engagements off, to now actually having way more options in this game. Bottom lane kill threat there is just further cemented. The Alistar Tristana, it's Ignar's Alistar. This guy, before we had the previous set of 0.4 duo proximity for supports roaming all over the place with Rivershen, Ignar was one of the biggest roamers in the league. See if he can make some stuff happen here on Alistar. Definitely a champion, big playmaking champion that they want him on. I feel like he was probably one of the most snubbed as far as the all-pro voting went. Supports were definitely hard because there are a lot of very good options, but let's see if he can make his name for here against 100 Thieves, against Huhi.
All right, it's going to be a fun one. Speaking of the top lane, you mentioned the barrel game up top for Impact. Has not played the champion all year long, but across his career, 9-3. Not a bad look for the man. So we'll see if he can win the top lane matchup, because there was a lot of top priority through Someday, through 100 Thieves, and it spilled into the rest of the map to some degree. We'll see if EG can now bounce back in game 2. I'm liking their bot lane a lot. Obviously, this Tristana Alistar lane can be incredibly explosive, because there was a pretty big bot diff for, I would say, almost the entire game in game 1, both AD carry and support. And now we are on to the rift for game 2 of this best of 5. The winner is headed to Worlds. The loser has to battle Cloud9 for elimination.
Definitely want to be up in that winner's bracket as long as you can stay there, Freak.
Yep.
Ride that one all the way to the top. Impact gets out of the Tri-Brush, so we'll see Someday. Doesn't see the rest of the team wrapping around, though.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And now we get to see what comes through. Impact just kind of playing a safe road. Nothing special.
Yeah, so with this information, if you had different champions, then maybe you could pull off a different play here by 100 Thieves, and you could still go for a pincer movement. But since you don't have anyone that could jump over the back of the Baron pit and come from the other side, like a Rakan or something like that, as your support role, they can't actually get a pincer movement off. Impact already knows and is playing cautiously there, so everybody recalls for 100 Thieves. They didn't actually give up any vision on the bottom side, though, and nobody switched over to Sweeper on the recall either.
All right, quick trick word comes down. Daisuke gonna get maybe a mana flow stack. Thanks to the 25 mana, pretty much paid for the spell in the first place, and not going to be a huge problem there. Closer going to be soloing on Raptors, it looks like, as the top laners will be battling pretty soon. Mid laners trade a few blows there as well, as Abaddon gets his own mana flow stack in. We'll point out EG's bot lane is, in fact, leashing.
Yeah, exactly, and that means that, well, already you don't want to fight level 1 as Tristana Alistar, so they basically make the choice, hey, we're going to give up priority there anyways. We're not going to fight for the level 2. We'll help Contracts get a bit early lead in the jungle. Every little bit of DPS, by the way, matters. It always helps out with your clear, even if it's a champion that can easily do leashless. Now it's going to be that little bit of a timing difference. You can see Contracts already finishing up on 2 camps, onto his 3rd, as Closer just now is going to be sacrificing his Krugs So he's going topside before going over towards Krugs. Wants to cover blue quadrant first, not leaving that opportunity available.
Yep.
He's probably going to have to do a bit of a reverse clear here. He's going to go Gromp blue Wolves. And Scuttle Crab.
It's a path that gives him the option. It's an option that lets him get level 3. If you do blue and not Gromp, you're not 3. So Gromp is 3, and it says, hey, I can go top right now. I can interrupt a red-blue Gromp like Lee Sin gank. I can be there for the top lane, but I can also reverse clear if there's no pressure.
Yeah, and he already has, Someday already has his ward in river too, so would see any sort of Lee Sin attempt either over the wall or through the river or through Tri-Brush or anything like that. So allows him to get the push back out here for topside. Abadaga's been chunked out very low under the tower, though.
Sidesteps the stun, then gets pretty much the entire wave down there. You can see, though, 12 to 16 in CS. Yusuke's winning that lane, and now, oh, that ward was there in time. Whoo! Spots Lee Sin coming down. Ignar was already there. Jumps to the minion wave and locks himself out. Abadaga nearly first blooded. A nice try by EG. Closer not going to really get a chance. There's really no way you get Scuttle here with how much mid pressure there is. They've got top, but I mean, there's an Alistar here.
Yeah, topside is pushing, though. GP's got the wave pushed out, so Someday says, you're welcome, Closer. Scuttle Crab is yours. I got your business handed for you up here, and Impact already is in pain. Burned through all of his potions with the potion longsword start, and Someday has been able to bully him off. Now he also gets the zone. Yep. It's basically you push out the wave, you get your jungler priority, and then jungler comes up to help deny some of these minions contracts.
Could smite it, does, but now how about the rest of that fight? Because Closer's burned all his cooldowns. Flashy, there's a slow on to Someday, and a flashless Gangplank has no way out. Perfect shot on the oranges. Grasp is not gonna be enough. First blood comes through for EG, and Abadaga is gonna get followed. He'll be slowed and he will be killed. A double for Jizuke, and Closer's gotta run. The Sonic Wave lands, and Closer gets a single kill. Resets in, gets the second. The better Lee Sin has showed up, and he plays for 100 Thieves. A triple kill. The man can do no wrong.
Oh my goodness, if Closer wanted to make a case for his MVP status, these last 2 games are making it look good, Freak. Contracts goes back in. They want to be able to burst down the Viego before he can get a reset kill, but they overestimate their own burst damage. He landed the Q really early, so he wanted to take it in because he didn't want to time out. Let's take another look at the setup, though. Okay, Closer running this whole time because they got separated, and the flashes from all these members of EG to secure their 2 kills. And then, because they've got this positioning advantage, they can section out each member, even though technically 3 members versus 3 members. See, this is way, way early going in. We don't get to see the end of it. He was hiding his health bar right under Abadaga there, and so you couldn't quite, or under Jizuke, and so you couldn't quite see it. But yeah, really well done by Closer. He immediately landed the W stun out of it.
Auto W, because W's an attack reset. So mechanics are perfect into auto first, then get the reset in, and he had the burst. So, I mean, really impressive stuff. And I mean, the other kids, he played well too.
Absolutely insane stuff there. You know you're playing with fire, because as soon as I saw that Lee Sin Q landed, I was like, okay, they're going to chunk him down a little bit more before you go in, because Contracts was low health and so is Jace. So you can see disaster coming, Freak. You know, the clouds are brewing over the river here. Closer, though, magnificent performance from him. 3 kills is his reward for the Viego. And guess what? A 3-kill Viego can melt through the dragon, no problem. Gets to go over there on reset timer from Evil Geniuses. So on top of that massive top river win, they also get the dragon well in advance of the arrival of the Rift Herald. It should snowball neutral objectives. This is basically the best feeling as a jungler. When you get that early triple kill to get priority in jungle, then you can just dominate in a domino effect all these neutral objectives. You just sync them up so the timers won't match. You don't have to give anything to your opponent. You know, there's no Rift Herald trade for this dragon. You know, got 2 minutes on arrival, then you can just go force on Rift Herald, and guess what? Still have the big lead.
Looking really nice. Obviously, a small gold lead, 100 Thieves right now. It is entirely centered on the jungler, of course, but it means Closer can kind of exert his will and keep the pressure going as he's going to clear his top side and then look for his next move.
Contract spent a lot of time hovering Jizuke here because Jizuke is the one that got all the kills on the side of Evil Geniuses. So he is their hope. Their mid priority is their way to salvage this, to try and fight off this monster Viego, who's already looking towards Impact, who has no flash.
Okay, good luck surviving this one. The stun is going to be dodged away from, but the rest of the damage may just be enough. Knocks back someday, and they don't quite have the damage. They don't have it. The flash shield closer is going to drop to a tower. Impact dodges the skill shots and leads them into their doom. Contract's now in for a bit more. Wants his next slow to come across someday. Going to get back under the turret, sidesteps the shock blast, and there is no dive to be had, but now there could be, so he has to give up the wave.
Yeah, you get punished so hard for that closer dive. He got too hyped up off his own success, Freak, just as we did. You know, the triple kill. He goes under tower, taking, what, 2-3 tower shots, flashes, and still dies.
Woo! That is a fight you took without a single combat stat, and Jizuke solo kills Abadaga.
Just like that, Evil Geniuses are retaking control of this game, Freak. Jizuke answering the tweets with his action in-game. Honestly, I want to see what he typed after that too, because I bet he's getting in there. If you want to see it, go check out ProView.
That's true. Check him out. The free one for the game, by the way, is the bot lane, and hasn't been about them yet.
It's worth paying for the Jizuke one.
Great side step.
I promise. Great entertainment. Here it is, though. Closer really wanted to go finish this, but he's still level 5, so no ultimate, so he would have to have finished it with getting his Q auto for the empowered auto, but a great flash there by Impact means he's left hands empty and shut down, given over. Critical dodge there from Someday. If the shock blast hits, then the Lee Sin takes the Q there, so here it is. Jizuke has just enough mana to finish off Abadaga as far as the second engagement here. I want to see how much mana he's left with after this combo, because it looks so low. Steps up, hits the Q.
Biscuit?
Yeah, he got a little burst of mana there, so it must have been.
That's Morphonic Biscuit, I assume.
That's a pretty good bait by him.
Yeah.
A very, very big brain there from Jizuke, baiting his low mana. Sometimes you bait health, sometimes you bait mana. Able to land the stun.
Okay, FBI has to flash, gets away from Ignar's stun. The rocket jump is in, but it's not going to be enough damage to kill. And they're able to walk safely out. Going to be a quick Jin ult, I believe, for a bit of wave clear, a bit of trying to get him out. There is not going to be a dive as a result.
Jin does pitiful. Never mind. It does. Yeah, the ult does pitiful damage if they're not low, and it's not like 4-shot executing somebody dream scenario low.
Well, 3 in mid versus 2. Abadaga trying to set up the bait. Oh, they're going to find Alistar. They're sitting on wards. The flash stun comes across, but with everything else on, they're going to be okay for now. The ult is safety for Closer, and Contracts will be able to walk away with his life as well, but who he cannot. Jizuke again, unleashed power, finds a kill.
Everybody in mid lane, Freak, it's a party. They're able to turn again. They think they've got just Alistar coming up the river. Wrong. The entire squad is here. Contracts actually, I believe, messed up his flash R right there because he actually just kicks Closer over to the side and then Closer can escape. They don't get that kill, though. Doesn't matter. Jizuke can unleash the power, as you said, and that is going to fund his mythic. 4 kills on Jizuke. Big bounty on his head. By far, richest person in the game.
Looking really good. Oh, man. FTX little gold graph. Yeah, 3 in the top 4 for Evil Geniuses. And even Danny's part of that one because his farm's good, that assist's not bad, and they have mined 1 turret plate. So very much looking good here. 1,800 gold lead overall, and okay, answered by the one Drake, sure. And hey, first mythic on the board is obviously the 3-kill Closer Viego. He can still be a difference maker, but without him, 100 Thieves aren't winning a single roll.
Yeah, they lost so much with giving up the last couple of skirmishes here. Now Dragon should be picked up by Evil Geniuses, so 100 Thieves, while they did get their Rift Herald, and you still have Rift Herald in inventory there for Closer, which will probably use top lane here with all this pressure, especially when they get the announcement of Dragon. They're just going to run him off the tower. You can actually just hit this one down by hand. You know they're taking Dragon, so take this one down to 2 plates, pop Rift Herald, finish it up. Not too much Impact can do about it. You know he's got no reinforcements because Jizuke is mid and Abadaga is close enough to stop the teleport, so That's his first turret bonus. Get paid.
Nicely done. All right, money to spend for the jungler and top laner. And Closer already was one of the big carries, but getting Gangplank a little bit supercharged will be nice, as he can try to get a bit more done. Oh, they can find the stun. It's going to be Closer. Yes, enough damage. Oh, good flash by Impact. It was already back up. And now the jungler has arrived, but Contracts is out of energy and can't get much more done. They may just get this second charge, but if it gets auto-attacked, okay, it dies to minions. No second charge. That turret's not going to be at 12%.
I do want to note that on the bottom side, with the top focus for 100 Thieves, Danny was again able to mine another extra plate off that turret. There's only one plate left on the bottom side turret. So while Rift Road was effectively used to get first turret bonus, Jiizuke now under attack.
They get the root. Unleashed Power will not quite kill us. Merc Treads were done. By the way, mandatory against Mage Assassins. A kick around, but not going to find a kill. Minions in the way. Good sidestep. Abbedagge keeps them in front, so Shock Blast cannot get the kill.
Yep, should be able to push in mid and rotate back towards bottom, though. Impact actually even wants a little bit more damage on this turret. I think it's kind of dangerous.
All right, decent shot there. Good headbutt backwards, and who he may just knock down. They can't go too hard because, of course, FBI can come in for some damage, as Danny is forced to rocket jump away after he's re-engaged. Good sidestep. Sakurai coming in, got away from the Sonic Wave because that would have been his death. So well played on all 5 sides. At the end of the day, no kills.
I love the action-packed pace of this series, Freak. EG continually trying to force, roaming off of the mid play, transitioning towards bottom, and Contracts able to get there in time to possibly follow up, but no Q land, so no commitment here, and it is going to be a quick bounce back. Now you can just reset. Multiple steel caps coming in on the side of 100 Thieves. Very effective against everybody except for Jiizuke. It does mean without the tenacity reduction on the other members, anybody besides Abbedagge who gets stunned up there, going to be sitting duck for a long time, though.
Nice little Vitality logo. I believe that was the last time Jiizuke was at Worlds, and it was an okay run. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but I think it wasn't the most beautiful. I know Gen G bombed out in that group, and Cloud9 and Vitality fought really bitterly for one of the 2 spots. But it was North America's best Worlds when Jiizuke last went. And I talked to him a little bit before the show. He was chatting out, and I said, "Hey, you gonna make it a fun series?" Like, "No, just 3-0. I want to get to Worlds." I'm like, "Okay," but hey, he's making it a close series.
They definitely have been putting in the work. Number 1 was pretty close with their team fight setup. This one, a bit better for their liking. Everybody up top.
I don't think Someday survives, but he's got Impact really low, forcing the kick away from Contracts, and buying a lot of time here is Someday, playing in the fog, playing with barrels, but he's left alone. He finds the kill to Impact, and he's got reinforcements, and it's a shutdown coming through for Abbedagge. Ignar is up next, a 3-for-0 fight, the 100 Thieves, and maybe a 4th. Contracts, suddenly he wants a new clause. He's gonna drop down, he'll be rooted in place, and Abbedagge finds his 2nd kill.
That bush is the elephant graveyard for EG. Everybody going to sit in that brush to die.
Yep.
Impact was trying to hide there. Contracts is surrounded. He goes to hide there. And guess what? Someday gets to laugh at the end of it. Gangplank goes to farm bottom side. His team realm warps in and cleans up massively. It's just been so back and forth, Feek. You know, with EG setting up some really good picks towards the other side of the map. And here you think they've got the early move because Contracts is up behind the tower for the dive. The rest of them coming up river, but Realm Warp. Abbedagge's Realm Warps have been so game-changing in this series. Game number 1, they were huge. This one is going to be a triumphant arrival as Ignar's going to try and get this big Alistar Q, but Abbedagge himself flashes out of it into a root on Jiizuke, and they annihilate Jiizuke. He does not get to move. So good flash there from Abbedagge, gets away from the Alistar Q. They take down the Syndra and then chase down the extra members here on EG. Closer, after having picked up another utility soul, able to set his friend up for the extra cash.
And now the lead has switched back over. Obviously big damage out of the Soul Landers, and not bad from the jungler either on the 100 Thieves side. Danny left on his lonesome, has knocked down bottom turret. It is 2-1, that score overall. So that is something to be happy about on the EG side.
Yeah. I think that probably the biggest failing so far this game for Evil Geniuses has been their attempt at the Jace counter into Gangplank pick. Have not been able to get that topside pressure for themselves to start any plays. in their benefit. Also, haven't been able to force out some of these Gangplank ultimates to be able to get something either. And Someday, I think, has been playing it quite well despite not getting a lot of the focus. Maybe as the lethality starts to come in, maybe when the Muramana gets there and they can transform and you hit some really high-powered poke, it'll start to change the series. But for now, Evil Geniuses pick up Dragon number 2, while Rift Herald is used by 100 Thieves to get another tower shot.
Almost killing it. And those are actually the most valuable turrets on the game. Actually, more than first turret itself is a side lane tier 2 in terms of individual cash. So unfortunately, not quite get that one knocked down, but obviously 2 auto attacks will kill it sometime later, and that'll be a nice boon. Top lane, 3v2 potentially. That ward spots up a
Looks like a lot more.
Realm Warp, the flash to headbutt, that's going to cancel it. Really well done by Ignar. Absolutely no way out except for damage, and he's not going to find the kill. Shutdown is in. Kill on the board for Danny.
And look at what you can possibly get on cross-map play here is GP mining some turrets, the bottom side turret, so should be something answering the turret kill at least, and it's just going to be the extra kill gold in exchange. 3 people held at bay in mid lane, so no push there for the 100 Thieves either.
Yep. No more plates. They've been cleared, but the turrets themselves will die. This will be 3-2 in turret score overall. Danny going to keep the pressure going on. Building very anti-tank. Kraken Slayer into Last Whisper is not the most important build, and to be honest, even against the Leona, I might consider something else, but mid lane is more important. There is no way out. Jizuke just locked in place, and 2 kills now on the board for FBI.
And that was set up by Closer again. Lands the stun into Jhin Snare. This man just came into playoffs on a mission, freak. Closer has been terrifying. Viego must be denied to him. Absolute monster.
He really is. He's running circles around them, which makes sense. His scoreline is 3-1-4.
Except I actually really appreciate that one.
Thanks, man.
I was like, let me check the data. Are we even close to Pi Day? No? Okay, well, whatever. Still get a lot of credit for it. Closer, thanks. I think the only one thing I would point to would be obviously the overdive on top side where, you know, Impact had a good flash to you know, dodge away from the possible kill. But other than that, it's definitely been perfect circle for him.
Imagine if they can do any more with this one. We're going to move on as 100 Thieves holding on to a solid gold lead, but they are down the 2 dragons to 1. This is EG getting back-to-back in the mid-game so far. But we wait for the next big play, because ultimately close mid-games have consistently, with our consistency being 1 game, turned into 100 Thieves taking the victory off of gameplay later on. Sterak's now done for the Gangplank. It is very much a bruiser-focused build for Someday. 24 is definitively more damage in almost all cases, but if you want the extra lifesteal because you're going to Divine Sunder an opponent and get some health back that way, then it lets you frontline just a bit more. But it's certainly going to be lower damage than almost any other build you could go for. And we'll be relying on, to be fair, Ryze and Viego for plenty of that. Ulti going to come now across into Jizuke, forcing him to flash into the Raptor Pit. A nice root for FBI. Can pad the damage stats, but is not going to be much more than the Summoner Spell forced.
I really like these setups from 100 Thieves to try and force cooldowns in preparation for the fight. They swing everybody towards mid. They know that Jizuke is going to have to flash if one of these slows get on him. Gangplank sets up for easy skill shot landing. Once that slow is on you, even a Jhin root is going to be instant death. So they throw out the multiple ultimates to get that flash off the Syndra, then they make the play on side lane.
Big play. Isn't enough numbers, though, because it's 4 for Evil Geniuses and only 3 for 100 Thieves. They've been collapsed upon. The trap has been set, and it clamps shut. Double kill for Tristana. Rock jump to safety. The ult not going to mean much for Jhin as Ignar tanks the shots. And they will not get a single kill. Crawdog walks in, Gorge Drinkers and walks right back out. Pops a shield, Stun's gonna land at 2. And Impact's coming around as well. FBI dropped low, Ignar gonna stay alive. Does Impact go for the dive? Flashes in, Abadaga is down. And Evil Geniuses get the 3 for nothing.
And EG are playing on the edge, freak, just barely escaping with their lives. FBI wants to make them pay their taxes, but they evade right out to the Bahamas, freak. It's a vacation now for EG. What a massive outplay in that attempt. And that was 100 Thieves getting really aggressive with this Realm Warp. Let's take another look at it. They only have 2 members in. I actually want to just quick toggle vision because I don't think they saw the rest of the members of EG in transition through the jungle.
No, there's no way.
And so they went for it a little bit early there, then get surprised. It's turned around, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got Ignar in your face with Alistar ultimate on. Then they play it really well. Jizuke critical stun there on FBI and Abbedagge to allow the retreat. If he does not hit that, then they sustain multiple casualties there. Impact, though, finally makes his way over, and so they can actually punish the Ryze for flashing forward to try and get his kill onto Alistar. Corrupting Potion just barely not ticking enough to take him down either words. Now is going to be reset for Dragon, though. Here we go.
Yeah, 700 gold apart right now. EG going to try to find their way in, but no, it's Huhi leading in first. Big damage in the back line, and Impact drops. 1-0 kill to the Jhin. How about the other side, though? Abbedagge kicked out of the pit and drops now as well. Smite fight going to be soon.
Closer.
And it is claimed by the jungler on EG's side. It is Contractz taking it. 1 for 1 so far. Each team has lost a solo lane. Evil Geniuses on Soul Point. Gold remains flat. 100 Thieves able to retreat as mid lane turret is 1 hit from dead. FBI opens up for the ulti. He's gonna find a couple of shots, but Jizuke gonna push him back away. Wave will be cleared. We're gonna get the reset coming in soon. FTX Gold Lead sitting still at 800.
Dude, Danny did such a good job in following that one up. He goes in, gets the last hit on Abbedagge, then uses his reset to force Closer out. Closer was in danger of getting burst down, has to ult out as a Viego, and so there's no contest on the smite, but a lot due to this pressure from EG, and specifically from Danny jumping in, using his reset there on Tristana extremely aggressively, not fearful of these melee champions. Here's another look at how they started out. So Ignar, Hex Flash over, and then the focus onto Impact does get the first kill for 100 Thieves, but look at the pit. Abbedagge all by himself, so Contractz Q's Dragon, then he ward hops over to finish up this extra damage. Danny comes flying in, hits the last auto to crit, then jumps onto Closer, so Closer hops away. Contractz finishes the Dragon, even with Someday and FBI on him, and they're able to chase them back outside of the pit. So 1 for 1 trade and solo laners going down, but with the positioning, EG are able to get the objective, put themselves up to Soul Point, and keep, well, I was going to say a comfortable cruise here, has actually been very rocky, with both teams doing a good job in setting up their own plays. Now is going to be about how can 100 Thieves try and get Abbedagge to the previous state that he had Ryze in last game. Split pushing on the outside here on his 2-item power spike, level 13. They don't have quite as much authority since there's double teleports ready for EG and plenty of flank opportunities without the substantial vision that they had previously too.
Right.
So it's a lot more dangerous. That's why you see multiple members hovering behind Abbedagge here. I kind of like those plays where you dangle out your split pusher with multiple CC answers ready to defend against pick attempts. It allows them to shove the wave out, allows them to get temporarily a little vision for themselves, but EG are very quick to collapse on it.
Playing around the vision as best they can, getting rid of some of those ward positions, maybe behind someone who's split pushing. And end of the day, it is Evil Geniuses. I guess currently, middle of the day. We'll fix that one up, you know. They currently own most of the vision. That's one ward just sitting in a nice spot just outside of the standard control ward in the pit. So there is some vision that has not been denied. And this is truly crucial. Finding a location around there where you're kind of dodging away, because Danny is certainly hitting Baron Nashor, and that means it's time for 100 Thieves to answer. And they got to do it fast, because as you mentioned, this cruise has become choppy, and it's a GP ult to spot it. EG burning it down and smited. Secured. Time to get away now, and so far so good. It's been clean to get out. Stun's going to land on Alistar, not the ideal target. Evil Geniuses are the ones who pull the heist. They knock down Baron, and they walk out cleanly.
Really quick timing window here. 100 Thieves, even with that ward you talked about, can't get there in time. And it's just the pure DPS burns it right down. Danny's massive lead is actually meaning a lot in this game. You know, the triple item crit multipliers coming through, has his BF sword here, can turn that right into a GA, so he can continue to make these aggressive rocket jump Tristana plays through. Level 15 for himself as an AD carry, and they're trying to chase down the split pusher once again. Can't quite get there though.
Yeah, able to cast the ulti in time, knows how long teleport lasts, presses R, and will never be stunned, so at least able to live. But what was smooth sailing has become a shipwreck. Evil Geniuses looking to get Dragon Soul in under a minute's time. The Red Bull Baron power play likely includes a Dragon Soul.
And I love to see this as well. They're just putting as much money into Danny as they possibly can. 80 carry split pushing. When you have him this fed, level 15, 2-level advantage, giant bounty on his head, but you trust him to hold that. Pushes on top side with Baron buff, should annihilate these towers. You can get so much money with this champion. Being able to have, you know, the confidence in your 80 carry splitting later on really bodes well for
Goes in for the stun,
Geniuses.
finds a good bit of damage on Jizuke, does have flash, gets a stun, closer ults to safety, re-engage comes across, kick back into the team, and he will drop. The KDAs keep rising. Hui just getting shot at by Danny, dropped to half HP, and now mid-turret under fire and will be knocked down as well.
Should be the rest of the base too, Freak. They've got extra minions to work with. There's a cannon to buff up. Inhibitor Tower will fall instantly. And Evil Geniuses, they can actually take this before going to collect their soul. Timing is still in their favor because it was closer that they were able to pick off for his hubris and his attempt at taking down Jizuke. Going at him with the collapse there. There's no jungle, no smite for the side of 100 Thieves means it's going to be Mountain Soul on top, and that is going to be EG with a huge resurgence in this series. They instantly answer back.
Evil Geniuses say, let us be your iceberg, as they are winning every single fight now.
All right, so here's another look at the attempt here from Closer. They really thought they had a good angle onto Jizuke. Gets off the ultimate in order to gain distance, but they don't have control of their own jungle. And this is the problem when your opponents are split pushing against you. You don't have that extra track through the fog of war, through the jungle. Contracts comes up behind him, kicks him back, ensures the kill, and that kill means so much. Mid inhibitor is down, plus the Mountain Soul. There's just a very easy pathway now for Evil Geniuses to force this hyper-scaling Tristana, who, by the way, is now the highest level on the entire Evil Geniuses team.
Yep.
Straight through to the base. He hasn't been able to recall to go, finish his Guardian Angel. I actually think they're not going to force until he, goes back to finish that. You should probably wait for a reset. Here's a Realm Warp play, though.
And again, Jizuke able to identify it in time, lands his stun, and is still able to hold his flash. That's 2 fights in a row where they really went for him. Has not gone Zonius, but Cosmic Drive and the boots too has been enough to get him out of the way. Huge stun. Hui gonna be deleted. And Tristana just dives the backline. Danny is unperturbed in his first playoffs. He will dive your entire base and it will fall to shambles. The Bud Light Ace, Evil Geniuses fire right back, and they are gonna completely slaughter here in game 2. They never let go once they were given that lead around level 6, and they will crush 100 Thieves.
Damn, Danny! What are those? Oh my goodness! Don't give that man Tristana. That is all-pro second team. Danny said he wants #1, Freak.
8-0 in the champion. The KDA got a little bit higher. Incredible stuff out of Evil Geniuses. And hey, if you missed that game out of him, that was the free win on ProView. Y'all missed out if you didn't watch it.
Yeah, we can go take a look ourselves. I really enjoy when you get to see that killer instinct at the end. Yes, he's super fed, but he hadn't gone back to finish the Guardian Angel. And so he's rocket jump in, flashing inside the base with full confidence without that extra safety. Finishes up the game in a very exciting manner.
Evil Geniuses answer back in game 2, and after the break, we're getting ready for the next chapter in the series with the State Farm Analyst Desk. See you there.
The perfect way to switch it up. The HR-V from Honda.
It all comes down to this one last dragon fight to call the whole game. Boom! Look at the damage on the Wombo combo. All 5 enemy players down. GG!
Welcome back to the LCS and the State Farm Analyst Desk, where it has been evened up by Evil Geniuses in this best of 5 against 100 Thieves. 1-1 now stands the series score. We did a lot of waxing and waning on some ideas, things that we maybe would want to see change between games 1 and 2. There were some changes, but it is important to note that the jungle mid 2v2 for both squads did stay precisely the same, and yet the result got flipped.
It was pretty exciting to see that they maintained that, because we felt like the players both had pretty good performances in the first game. The Syndra held her own, the Ryze found a lot of opportunities to play make, but at the end of the day, it ended up being the Viego who shone again. And I was so worried when I saw a triple kill on Viego early game again. But this time, Jiizuke had an early lead, and boy, did he deliver with it.
Yeah, again, no shortage of blood to be shown in this game here. Early action, left and right. As you mentioned, it was all about the mid lane when it came to EG and where their advantages would come, while it was 100 Thieves looking to punish the top side of the map.
It was, and I think part of the reason why they looked to punish the top is because Someday was actually winning that matchup individually. It was a bit unfortunate what happened with Closer, but we can see, you know, the impact of this early game skirmish, even though it was ended up being that Closer got the triple kill. It ended up with the 2 of the kills going to the Syndra, and from the rest of the game, it was just a Syndra who's super fed versus a Ryze who's struggling, hugging his turret, trying to survive. So, yeah, this was a situation where you cringe and you see, oh no, this Viego's 3-0, but that actually didn't help the mid lane for 100 Thieves.
Well, yeah, and you really see the difference between, I mean, we're just gonna see Jiizuke solo kill Abbedagge here, but you see the difference between a Ryze that is losing and is unable to contest a lot of these plays as well as he did in game 1. Because it makes a huge difference when you don't have that fed Ryze kind of affecting the map. I thought Jiizuke had a much stronger presence here, and you can still see this is a good team fight for 100 Thieves, but yeah, because of the Viego. And I do wonder actually if they're gonna take that off the table. But I think that there's a massive difference when you look at that mid lane 2v2 in terms of when Ryze is ahead and when he's behind and how you play around it.
I feel like this Ryze and the Syndra matchup is one where, so far, Jiizuke has really had the better of Abbedagge. Like, we started with some of the trash talk, and he solo killed him twice already, and was able to assist the team, and it felt like in the first few minutes of game 1, the game got out of hand, not so much from the laning. It was from roaming around to sides of the map. And so I think that Jiizuke has had the better of Abbedagge thus far, and it was in this game where you actually had Danny on a powerhouse carry on the Triss that then combined to have 2 major threats for AG to drive it home.
Yeah, I will say that Jiizuke's gotten the better of him. That said, you know, he had 2-0. He was 2-0 this game, and I think he was in a position to have control. What I want to talk about is 100 Thieves now showing some vulnerabilities that I think were evident in the first game, but are even more evident in their loss. It's the fact that they don't have a good mid game, right? And whether they're behind or ahead, they're still giving away dragons constantly, and their prioritization of where they want to take their advantages is really weird, because when we think on historical 100 Thieves, we think about Closer having issues coordinating with Someday top, and we saw that again, right? And we saw him donate kills back to the enemy team. What I want to see 100 Thieves do is play around their strengths, play around your bot lane, play around the fact that you have the best bot lane in the league, and Closer is a lot more coordinated with the bot half than he is with the top.
I definitely wonder how they will approach game 3 and make some adjustments maybe to that effect. As we take a look at another top lane fight, this one around 21 minutes into the game. The prioritization in target there, I think, too.
I love that Jiizuke's just like, get the Viego out of here, you know? Like, we do not want that champion getting resets in this fight. We've already been burned by that in this game and the game prior. So, yeah, I mean, I don't even think Contracts had a particularly good game here, and I also don't think Impact had as much, pardon the pun, impact as he would have liked on the Jace. But this really speaks to what Jiizuke was able to do on the Syndra, and also just the way that they play around their mid jungle still sometimes seems a lot more coordinated. And again, like, I can't stress enough how valuable Ryze is when he's making plays around the map. And to your point, when you talked about their mid game previously, a lot of that map pressure that they could have had would have come from them trying to side lane. Here we saw, even when EG are losing out on plays, you know, Danny's getting a ton of turret plate spot. Like, they're always, even in a losing situation, able to gain something out of it. And that's something I've appreciated from EG all year. I've also appreciated Danny's Tristana. This man knows how to play Tristana. He knows how to go in aggressively and come out ahead. He is nuts on this champ.
Yeah, a couple things I want to call out. Obviously, the fact that he's undefeated. Kobe, you are now correct in your guess of an over 15 KDA after that game on the Tristana. Was about 14 coming into this one. But while the focus for EG was so much around Syndra in the early game, I think it was Danny who began to, to shine brighter and brighter as the game went on. You look at that final team fight in base, his willingness to take the leap in, play the Tristana that Tactical has always wanted to play.
Yeah, and this is what made...
Wow.
Caught in the crossfire.
Damn, dirty. Wow. We'll see what Tactical has to say about that tomorrow.
He didn't do anything. I love you.
Oh, no, man.
I can't wait to see you on the stage tomorrow. Please play Tristana.
Yeah.
Okay, prove me wrong.
Anyway, back to this game. I think we see the strengths of Danny on display. Hey, we know that FBI is a better laner, but if you give Danny a situation where he can just farm safely, get to team fights, he's gonna shine, and he's gonna carry your team, particularly when he's on a pick he's comfortable with, like the Aphelios, like the Kai'Sa, or like Tristana in this game.
And that goes back to your point that you made about make the bot lane volatile, like go focus on that bot lane 2v2, because it is an incredible strength that your team has that you can play around.
I mean, when you play through topside, that allows the bottom lane to be left alone, and then you have a Tristana, who's the best at taking turrets right now, and is so safe, right? You've got two ways to disengage, barring your flash and heal being down, so she's gonna be so good at consistently getting a lead while allowing you to consistently play through the top side of the map, and that is what EG wanted to do this whole time since this roster came together. Play through the top side, and now you just have an AD carry that gets gold and delivers on the best champion to do so.
Well, normally at this time I'd ask you guys what should happen for Game 3, but these teams have been back and forth, neck and neck, trading blows every step of the way so far that I kind of want to leave it very much a mystery. Let's just see what happens in game number 3. We'll meet you back here for Champion Select on the other side of the break, but first, let's check in with Freak as he takes a look at a play from our community.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Rate My Play presented by Roccat. Today's clip comes from Charles Thompson with an Urgot 1v1 up in the top lane. Let's see what we got going on. It's a Wukong matchup. All right, cool. More health. You've got team out. You're doing the right build. I'm already off to a good start. The man takes a Q. The man's taking your W. This man's going down. Are you ulting the clone? You're... Oh, boy. All right, that's sick. All right, that was great. All right, that's good. You got him. You got him. That was actually excellent. No complaints. That was outstanding. I was so sure after every clip was someone completely inting it that you're gonna ult the clone and die into the turret. I'm so happy for you. I am happy you made that play on the stealth Wukong. 10 out of 10, no complaints here. We are hooking you up with a mouse and keyboard to do better next time, but I'm not sure that's even possible. But you know, with the Roccat, all things are possible. Now, if you want your clip rated, send your clips to @EllisOfficial on Twitter. Try to do as well.